Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. Good evening to all of you. Once again, you are welcome here on the Evel de Consciences platform. In international news, the United Kingdom is very involved and highly determined. Keir Starmer believes that Friedrich Merz, the German Chancellor, is stealing the spotlight from him. He therefore truly wants to take up the symbolic torch and proudly wear the armband of being the supreme commander, meaning the singular individual who will effectively lead all of Europe in a unified effort against the Russian Federation. The British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has officially announced that his country is now actively and comprehensively preparing for a potential war against the Russian Federation. And how exactly are they preparing for such a significant and serious conflict? He provided the details. Yes, in front of his country's people, in front of the British. How is Great Britain preparing for war against Russia? Because, according to their own words, they consider Russia to be an urgent, immediate, and direct threat that must be confronted. How are they preparing? That is what we are discussing in this video conference, which I ask you to share as much as possible. Give it lots of likes. Yes, let's dive deeper. Don't forget to leave plenty of comments. The United Kingdom has officially announced that since it must inevitably enter into a significant conflict with the Russian Federation, it will proceed with the construction of a fleet of 12 advanced nuclear-powered attack submarines. In other words, these are the nuclear submarines that will go on the attack. 12 nuclear attack submarines. The United Kingdom is going to build 6 munitions factories. 6 munitions factories. Share this video conference. People are really preparing for the third world thing. And in all this, what is Africa doing? How are we preparing ourselves as well? Because we will have to get ready. These people could come and provoke us just like that. We don't know. And we don't even want the third thing to happen, but they are getting ready. They are going to build 12 V6 munitions production factories. 6 factories. That means they want to have a large quantity before going to face the giant. And they're even giving the date, Watch the video conference until the end. But thank you as always for leaving a comment. It gives strength and visibility to the video conference. So it was yesterday afternoon, Monday, the 2nd of June, that he gave the information that his country is seriously rearming itself against Russia. According to the official information, according to his statement, there will first be the construction of nuclear attack submarines. Nuclear submarines, not for defense, but for attack. Which means they are the ones who will take action. The United Kingdom is committed to building up to 12 new nuclear-powered attack submarines, but equipped with conventional weapons. They want that when waging their war, people can't say no. They are not using conventional weapons. They want people to say yes, they are waging a conventional war. Since these are conventional weapons, what remains clear is that a weapon is a weapon. It's a bad thing. It's really not good. These submarines are part of the AUKUS military alliance with the United States and Australia. You remember, in Florida, it was in 2023, around November 2023, an agreement was signed between the United States of America, Australia, and the United Kingdom under Joe Biden's administration. It was in Florida. They held this signing ceremony with great pomp, where the United States of America committed to providing equipment for the construction of nuclear-powered submarines. At that time, they had even decided to send some nuclear-powered submarines into the Pacific Ocean to provoke China regarding its issue with Taiwan. But at the time, China's reaction made them calm things down a bit. And now is this agreement that they want to revive. The United Kingdom does not want to enter this conflict alone. The United Kingdom wants to enter this conflict with Australia with the United States of America. Even though Australia is a bit less present on the provocation front right now, on the international provocation stage, they still want to involve Australia since they are doing this in the name of the alliance called AUKUS. The goal of the United Kingdom is to replace its current fleet, to have it replaced by the end of the 2030s. So that means they are making plans. They've set 2029 as the actual start date for action against Russia. But for now, they have to get ready. They need to equip themselves with the necessary military equipment. They need to acquire, how do you say, the right weapons, all that stuff. And when they're all ready, they'll all converge on Russia. That's the plan. They're going to do, as Ivorians say, they're going to do Krubatad. They're going to pounce on Russia. And meanwhile, Russia is working with its allies. Russia is working with its allies. But all of this clearly shows that we're in a bad spot. Let's continue with the official information. Please share the video conference. When you share, it gives me courage. You know that very well. So the United Kingdom is going to do it with a production aimed at a launch every 18 months. Aiming for a launch every 18 months. So they'll produce, but every 18 months, they'll carry out launches. This investment will also be accompanied by an investment of 15 billion pounds sterling in nuclear warheads. In addition to building nuclear-powered submarines, they will invest 15 billion pounds sterling in nuclear warheads. So, producing nuclear warheads that will be placed on the nuclear-powered submarines to allow them to reach Russia or wherever they want. And so, they will also create 6 munitions factories. 6 munitions factories. Kesamo also announced the construction of at least 6 new munitions and energetics factories. This investment of 1.5 billion pounds sterling aims to strengthen munitions production capacity and create around 1,000 jobs. So they are going to create about 1,000 jobs for munitions production since they need to prepare against the Russian giant. So the goal is to be able to produce thousands of new long-range weapons. Pay close attention to the creation of these factories. The goal is to be able to produce thousands of new long-range weapons and to increase the budget allocated to munitions to 6 billion pounds sterling during this legislative term. So, over the course of this year, the munitions budget will rise to 6 billion. So, this is a rearmament in response to Russia. All of these announcements are still aimed at confronting Russia. It's to prepare for Russia. And so that's why the United Kingdom is going to increase its military spending. Although the goal is to reach 2.5% of GDP by 2025 to 2027, compared to 2.3% currently, they actually want to allocate 3% of GDP to military spending. So, in any case, they are really getting ready against Russia. So, ladies and gentlemen, here are the top international news stories. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible. When you share, it gives me the courage to keep bringing you real and up-to-date information. There you have it. Without passion, without emotion. That's it. Because our generation needs to have very, very good information. That's it. So, thank you to all of you. I'll be back with more news shortly. This was the voice of your one and only Samurai.